What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. So today we are doing some daily race C action around the Daytona International Speedway, the road course edition, but it was a very interesting race combination that we have here for this week, as we are racing with the 90s Group 1 cars. And as you can see from everybody in the grid using the Mazda 787B was the meta car, and that was the car that we elected to use here as we now head into the race here and find our way into turn number 1. So into the corner here we come out nice and easy, making sure that we don't spin the rears, and luckily we don't get rammed from behind. We don't ram anybody else ahead of us, and we're able to survive the opening parts of this race, as there's going to be 12 laps around the road course. Hopefully we can survive here, as this is one tricky car, and I'll get more into why this car is just ridiculously difficult to drive. But as we approach our way now onto the oval, we get a really bad exit here, leading our way back into the oval part of the track. And unfortunately, due to that, we get overtaken by the third place Mazda of 93. It gets a really great run on the exit, goes into the inside, gets around us, and we try to stay right behind him here as we head into the chicane for the first time. So finding a braking point here, heading into the chicane, we accidentally brake just a tad bit too late. Make a little bit of contact with 93, but didn't really affect him too much. He did lose about half a second, but it could have been a lot worse, as I could have sent him straight into the shadow realm, or worse, he could have gotten a penalty for that. And penalties here are a dream, or basically just a race killer, because you lose so much time as we get absolutely destroyed heading into turn number 1. We get hit from behind, and as we jump into the replay here to see exactly what happened, you can see that this car right behind us just misses his braking point, uses us as a brake, and unfortunately we just took all the force. They got a penalty right behind us, but we did lose a position from Rusty Maggots, and luckily we didn't get spun out. We were able to just rejoin the track and not lose any other position. So we have MSP3 right behind us, Maggots right ahead of us. It's starting to become a little bit interesting here, as you can see on the bottom right here. That's a lot of traffic going on here on this racetrack, and you had a couple cars actually going off a little bit wide. So luckily we're not in the mix too bad. We're still leading this little train here, but if we can get a decent exit and just some decent lap times here, we could pull away from everybody and just try to put in some consistent lap times and try to catch back up to some of these guys up ahead of us. So heading back into turn number 1, into lap number 4. Luckily we don't get killed from behind, but we are starting to make ground on the 4th place driver, Rusty Maggots. As you can see, the gap is starting to become a little bit smaller here. And as we head back into the infield, this is the part that was just so treacherous and so dangerous. So with this Mazda, there was a little trick that you kind of had to do when getting back onto the acceleration. You can see here, the trick on the gearing is to keep it in 3rd gear once you get onto the throttle, because once you get it onto 2nd or 1st gear, your car basically just wants to spin out. It just has too much torque onto the rear. And due to that, if you keep it on the 2nd or 1st gear, it just lights up the rears. You spin out easily, and it's just a lot quicker just to keep it into 3rd gear, so you can keep the power down, keep the engine rolling, and it should be able to help you out with the lap time. So if you guys are struggling with this car or just don't know what the trick is, just remember, keep it into 3rd gear whenever you're getting onto the throttle, and never do it anywhere on 2nd or 1st. But if you're able to do that, you should be able to survive around here. Although it still isn't 100% easy, even though you put into 3rd gear. Sometimes you do get a little bit of wheel spin on the 3rd gear. You just have to be pretty patient with the throttle and just make sure that you're pointing straight before you get onto full acceleration. But as you can see here on lap number 5, we're still making up some time on the guys up ahead, but the leader has gone away as he is now heading into the back straight. We're barely heading to the corner, and if we can continue doing this, I mean, we'll be able to work our way through some of these cars up ahead, but I think we're going to be able to catch up to the leader. But heading a little bit more forward here down the straight as we come out of the chicane, we have the Nissan up ahead. Get a really bad exit, and we get straight into the slipstream. We're going to try to see if we can try to make an overtake heading into turn number 1, as the slipstream is super powerful here around the oval. He slips into the right hand side, tries to break the toe, but we still go to the right, take full advantage of that, go straight onto the inside. It's going to be who can brake later heading to turn number 1. and luckily for us, we're able to outbrake him heading into the corner. As we jump into the replay here, you can see side by side into the corner. We both brake almost at the exact same time, but we just braked a bit later, just stayed on the brakes a tad bit longer so we can park onto the apex. And he kind of had nowhere to go, as we are able to regain that 4th place position away from Rusty Maggots. Now, let's try to see if we can run away here and try to catch back up to 93s. And hopefully we can get ourselves a penalty, not penalty, but a podium here. We don't want to get any penalties. No, that's not something we want, but yeah, we're going to continue on up here onto the end of lap number 7, as lap number 6 is basically just us trying to pull away. And as we head into the chicane, we are starting to catch up to the top 2 here, or not to the top 2, but 3rd and 2nd place driver. As again, Jake is just fully gone. He's all the way now onto lap number 8. We're barely going off of the oval turn number 4. And as we head down to the straight, we're actually getting pressured here by the Brazilian Cesar. You could hear him on the right-hand side, side by side, down the straight. Then our way into turn number 1 here on lap number 8. We try to outbrake him the way we did to the Nissan. And for just a bit, it looked like it's working, or worked. And as we come out of the corner, we're able to just cut him off here and get back that 4th place position, as he was taking a nice little peek onto the outside. But luckily, we were able to do side by side. Get into the inside, keep it there, and it actually didn't look like we lost that much time to the guys up ahead. But off of the 4th corner again on the oval, we come to the same predicament here, as Cesar gets a really great run once again off of the chicane. He gets into our slip, side by side once again into turn number 1. We're gonna try to outbrake him again into the corner, but he brakes a little bit later, takes a little bit of stuff that he used or learned from the lap earlier. As we head into the replay once again into this overtaking zone, you can see that he just brakes a lot later than us right after that white marker. Gets the car rode down, and he was able to just get into a nice little position, get a great drive, and we lose that 4th place position here on lap number 9. So heading back into the infield, we caught up into to the 3rd and 2nd place position, and unfortunately we just go a tad bit too late into the braking zone into that corner. And we lose a little bit of time, but we still caught up to 3rd and 2nd place, so it's still 3 laps to go. We can definitely try to make some positions up here as long as we keep it clean. And you can see Cesar gets a really great run there, but unfortunately for us and Cesar both at the same time, we just get onto the throttle a bit too aggressively, lose the back end, and it comes out a little bit worse for Cesar as he just goes straight into the outside, goes straight into the wall, as we're still trying to gather it up together here, approaching back onto the oval. And that costed us a ton of time, as we were basically there. We were almost for the fight for the podium right there. And if Cesar would have lost it and we would have not lost it, we could have caught up to them easily on that corner. But luckily for us, onto lap number 10, something happened with Sammy Dean, as I think he got a penalty, and we were able to just close the gap once again. But unfortunately for us, we only have 3 laps to try to attempt to get the overtake done. And this is where things are going to get a little bit interesting here. So I didn't even know about this trick. It looks like a couple people actually knew about this trick, but you're going to see something that Sammy Dean does here. As we come out of the chicane here, he gets a really great run, but he gets a ½ second penalty due to cutting the final part of the chicane. I mean, it's very sensitive, that part. If you guys have not run around this track yet, if you just accidentally get 2 tires or even 4 tires into that yellow rumble strip, it counts as a corner cut, even though you're not really corner cutting. But you can see that Sammy Dean gets a penalty. We get around him on the outside due to the difference in speed, and we finally find ourselves here in 3rd place in podium. But as we come into the next corner, we just accidentally outbrake ourselves once again, almost reminiscent of the lap prior. And we get straight into the marbles, get a really bad corner, and Sammy's able to stay on the inside, get the overtake done. And now we just have to kind of just redo what we did the lap prior and try to see if we can get around him, most likely around turn number 1, as that has been the best overtaking spot. But as we come out of that corner here, leading our way back onto the oval, we get a really bad case of wheel spin. And now at this point, I was just making sure that we were going to be getting onto the throttle gently, not push it too much, because I'd rather, lose only a couple of tenths coming out of the corners than losing a couple of seconds due to us spinning the rears and spinning out. So here on lap number 11, we're still right behind Sammy as we get a really great lunge into the chicane. And as we come out of the corner, you can see that Sammy just takes a very narrow line onto the exit. And due to that, he gets another half a second penalty, but he does get a better exit than us. And as we come down to the straight, leading our way into the final lap here, we're just a tad bit too far back on Sammy to try to go for the overtake, but we did try to brake as late as we can. And I thought to myself, okay, well, we still have an entire lap left. We know we're a lot quicker than him in the chicane. And maybe into the infield he makes a mistake and we could try to go for an overtake, as it's very easy to lose the rear. You can see on the bottom left here, the tire wear is basically gone. Or the tire wear is actually, I want to say it's like really bad on the tires right now. The tire grip is gone, as I was meant to say. But yeah, anything is possible here. As you can see, Sammy gets a really bad entrance into the corner. We kind of go a tad bit too aggressively into it as well, but it didn't compromise Sammy on the exit. He's got a bit of a gap there, but heading to the final time on the exit of the infield, you can see that we were able to close the gap just a bit heading into the corner, but he gets a way better exit. And the gap extends to about a second and a half here as we get onto the oval for the final time. Checking our way through the chicane, you can see that Sammy's taking an interesting line. He's trying to break the toe. Too far away to get into it and take full advantage of the slip, but as we head into the chicane, you can see that Sammy goes straight through the grass and is able to just gain a ton of time on the exit, and that's only going to give him a half a second penalty, because no matter how deep you cut into that grass, it's only going to give you a half a second penalty. He's only going to have to serve it right here, and that half a second penalty is not going to be enough as we try to get into the slip and try to get around him before the line. And unfortunately, we're unable to do so. We come home in 4th place position. Now, I wanted to show you guys this replay here. As you can see that he did not even attempt to try to go onto the track. And take that as you will, but to me it looked like he was just using a little hack there and abusing the penalty system, going to the grass, getting only a half a second penalty because he knew it was going to be a shorter run to the line. And due to that trick, he was able to retain his 3rd place position, and we ended up finishing here in 4th place. So I don't know. I really don't know about that. I feel like it's cheating, but again, it's basically just exploiting the rules for your advantage. But to me, I don't know. I feel like that was cheating. I don't know. Maybe you guys see it different, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you guys think it was cheating or if it was just exploiting the rules here. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, or if you guys have seen other people use this tactics. And if you guys really enjoyed this video, feel free to smash that like button, hit that red subscribe button down below if you guys want to catch more content. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, I hope to catch you guys on the next one. Peace.